Okay, fifth graders, we are on the last section of chapter 12, section 9. The last section of chapter 12, I should say. So, lots of word problems here, and let's go over some of these, and I can help you guys kind of get started on them. So, the very first example here, we got Chad and Rhonda, they're hanging a swing, and they each cut a chain. And one of them cut a chain that was 6 feet 2 inches long, and the other one 72 inches long. And when they hung it, it was crooked, as you can see here. It looks kind of crooked. So it's they're asking what's the problem here, and so the first thing you need to do is convert 6 feet 2 inches to how many inches, and so 6 feet. Times 12, because there's 12 inches in a foot, is 72. So 6 feet is 72 inches. And then you need to add 2 inches, so you got a total of 74 inches. So Chad's chain, as they say here, is 74 inches long, but Rhonda's chain is only 72 inches long, so now we know why it's crooked. So you're converting feet into inches, so you can compare inches to inches instead of feet to inches. Makes the whole process a little bit easier, and that's what this whole chapter has been about. It's been converting weights, converting lengths, converting liquid measurements, that kind of thing. So let's look down at the convince me here. It says, what recommendations would you make to Chad and Rhonda so that the swing hangs level? What recommendations? Well, it's kind of obvious. I mean, you're not going to have to take off 2 inches. It's easier to cut chain than it is to add a length of chain. So I would suggest, actually I'd suggest I get a tape measure and do it right. I would suggest, let's see here, was it Chad's? It was a little bit longer. Yeah, looking at it here, 72 inches long, but Rhonda's chain is 70. Yeah, okay. So I would suggest Chad cut off 2 inches from his chain. Okay, there you go. Kind of a no-brainer if you ask me. All right, let's drop down to the guided practice and see if I can help you guys get going on some of these here. It says Mary needs a board 4 feet 8 inches long, and she cut a board 56 inches long. What measurements are given? Are the same units used for each measurement? Explain. Well, I can let you just put that in your own words. These are the measurements that you're given, so you're just going to reiterate or write out what they've just told you. Are the same units used for each measurement? Well, they're not the same, because one is just inches and the other one is feet and inches. So the answer is no, and then you can put it in your own words, or just repeat what I just said. And you can just finish filling that out. Number 2, it says explain how you can convert one of the measurements so that both use the same measurement. Well, this is very similar to the example we were just looking at. You're going to have to convert the 4 feet into inches, so they're both in inches. And don't forget, after you convert 4 feet to inches, you have to add 8 inches. Number 3 is the board Mary cut the right length. Give a clear and appropriate answer. Well, I think you can do that. Just put it in your own words. And let me highlight that. That's going to be a class craft question here. All right. And I'm going to make this one worth, I'm going to give you guys some points here. 500 points in class craft. So there you go. You might want to answer that one. All right, let's drop down a little bit further here. Independent practice. I'm looking at, looks like Shawn is making a meatloaf. Gosh, I love meatloaf. He used the amount of ketchup shown in the measuring cup. Okay, so here's the measuring cup. Looks like he used, I'm looking at 2/3 of a cup there. And it says, are the units that Shawn used to measure the ketchup the same as those given in the recipe? So here's the recipe, all right? Okay, so no, they're not the same because it's in fluid ounces. So the answer is no. The recipe's in fluid ounces, and he used 2/3 of a cup. And so again, you can just put that in your own words. Make sure you guys write that out, explain it. And I'm going to highlight this one. I'm looking for a simple explanation. I gave you the answer, but I want to hear how you explain it. Number 5, how can you convert one of the measurements so that both are the same unit? Well, if you remember, 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. That should help you with your conversion. I remember in yesterday's lesson I had to flip back in the book to find where you guys could get that information. So hopefully you know where that is now. Let's see here. So you're going to have to convert 2/3 of a cup into fluid ounces. Well, let me get you set up with that. So think about it. If 8 fluid ounces is 1 cup, I can put 8 over 1, and then I can multiply that by 2/3 because he's using 2/3 of a cup. And then whatever that answer is would tell you how many fluid ounces he was using. And did Shawn use the right amount of ketchup? Give a clear and appropriate answer. Yeah, well, I think you can answer that question. Okay, let me drop down to the last page here. How are we doing on time? 7.5 minutes, we're good. So, looks like the problem solving. Let's look at this here. Shipping package, a customer is using regular delivery to ship a package. Okay, so here's the regular delivery. The North Side Shipping Company discovered that its old scale is not very accurate. Okay, and so this is the North Side Shipping Company. And it registers a weight that is 2 ounces too heavy. So a new accurate scale shows the actual weight of the customer's package is 2 pounds 11 ounces. Okay, so which information do you need to determine the total shipping cost using either scale? So which information do you need? Sometimes they ask, what don't you need? Because what don't you need is the rush, because there's no mention of any kind of rush delivery. So what information do you need? Well, we need this information here. And total shipping cost using either scale. Well, the fact that there's a new accurate scale shows that the weight of the customer's package is 11 ounces. You also need that information. And then you also need the fact that the old scale is not accurate and it registers a weight that is 2 ounces too heavy. So everything that I've underlined and everything that I've circled there is the information you would need, because they're asking what information would you need using either scale. All right? And of course, they've given you just a little box to put all that information in, and it's just not big enough. So, yeah, just write really small. Okay, number 8, why do you need to convert measurements to determine the total shipping costs? Well, you need to convert the weight into ounces because The shipping costs are given in ounces. I'll say that again so you can write that down, because there's another classcraft question. Why do you need to convert the measurements to determine the total shipping costs? You need to convert the measurements into ounces because the costs is given in ounces. 500 points. Okay. So hopefully somebody can repeat that if I ask them tomorrow. Last question. Oh, sorry, 2 more. My bad. Show how to convert the measurements you described in exercise 8. Well, okay, so let me set that up for you. So it's going to be 2 pounds, 11 ounces equals so many ounces. Remember, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. That should help you if you didn't have that written down somewhere already. Let's see. I'm not looking for a difference between the old scale and the new scale. I'm kind of assuming we're going to be using the new accurate scale. So I think that's pretty much all we would need in number 9. At least that's all I'd be looking for. Number 10, what is the total cost? What would the total cost be if the package is weighed on the new scale? Okay, right. What would the total cost be if the package is weighed on? Oh, so you got to do the new scale and the old scale for number 10. So new scale equals how much? And the old scale equals how much? Okay. Okay, that's it. Yeah, last section of chapter 9. Then we'll do some review, and then you guys get a test. I think I'm going to highlight this one too. Old scale and new scale. Got to get them both right. So this is number 10 here. I highlight the whole thing here. And this one, yeah, let's go for it. 1,000 points. Woo! Yeah. So, and I'm only going to ask about 3 people. I'm not going to keep going until somebody gets it. So you might want to have that one ready. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow.